it is clear that that's who conservatives want in the White House, okay? That's who they supported. They didn't give a damn about the 34 indictments. They didn't give a damn about 2 impeachments. They didn't give a damn about all the legal issues and the lawfare that the Democrats engaged in. They said, Joe, that's who we want. This is the difference, and I said this to a lot of people, Bill. The conservatives said, we want that guy. That's who we want. And the voters decided who the Republican nominee is going to be. When you look at the Democrats, they didn't do it with Obama, that's true. Okay?
Didn't do what?
They greased the skids. This is the person we want. It's her turn. It was Hillary's turn to 20.
In today's video, Stephen A. Smith goes all in with Bill Maher. No sugarcoating, no participation trophies. Together, they tear into Hollywood's most sacred myths, and honestly, it's long overdue. Think the industry's Trump hysteria is about politics? Not even close, it's all ego. These so-called moral beacons of America? Half of them couldn't find Kansas on a map without Siri's help. They don't fear Trump because he's some existential threat to democracy. They fear him because he's a glaring mirror reflecting their own narcissism. Here's the truth, Hollywood's loud obsession with progressive values is nothing more than self-interest dressed up in virtue. They don't despise Trump for being the outsider, they despise him because he refuses to bow to the imaginary crown they think they wear. Let's be real, Hollywood built the very monster they now claim to fear. And Bill Maher? He's not holding back either. This is a raw, gloves-off conversation that's going to make plenty of people squirm. Hit play, this one's fire.
I'll never forget this. Bill, I swear to you, I love your show real time. I'm a huge fan. I watch it every chance I get. I have never.
No, real fans watch it every week. You watch it every chance you get. I'm just fucking with you.
Because I got multiple jobs. But here's the deal, Bill. But I TiVo it. I tell you that much. The DVR it, rather. That's TiVo, DVR.
I'm going to send you a telegram about that.
You told him what's up. Here's the deal, man. I have never wanted to be on your show more than I wanted to be on your show when Biden announced that he was going to run for re-election. Because I'm like this, what y'all going to say now? This is some straight bullshit. You got a situation where you won the midterm. You denied, you halted, you warded off the red wave. And you, knowing you're going to be 81 at election time, knowing you're going to be 82 in office, right? It wasn't the midterm. It was when the State of the Union address took place. And I saw these people. Remember, the liberals, so when you call yourself progressives.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're looking forward with a dude that's going to be 82 and would leave office when he's 86. Really, y'all? I'm sitting there like, you got to be shitting me. This is what you're talking about? And I'm like, I knew I wasn't voting for Trump. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I was saying to myself, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And then I looked at
Stephen A. Smith and Bill Maher are serving up some brutal truths, and trust me, the Democratic Party won't like it. They're exposing the harsh reality. Democrats have sprinted so far into progressive extremes that they are bleeding the moderates and independents they desperately need to survive. While everyday Americans struggle with rent, groceries, gas, and basic safety, party leaders are busy debating pronouns, pushing to defund police, and flirting with open border policies. Maher doesn't hold back, torching Democrats for chasing woke brownie points instead of tackling real issues. And voters? They see it. Swing state independents and working-class families, the people who actually decide elections, feel abandoned. They're tired of being sneered at and branded backward just for caring about jobs, stability, and security. Smith and Maher lay it out, until Democrats wake up and realize America runs on solutions, not hashtags, and identity wars, they'll keep losing ground and handing Republicans the wins. If Democrats thought 2025 would be a cakewalk, they're in for a rude awakening.
Right, Biden.
Well, that's not Obama. Obama earned it.
No, that's why I said he earned it. But in 26, and I'm not even trying to imply
they voted. Hillary ran in the primaries.
I'm not even trying to imply that she. But remember, they were complaining that Bernie Sanders had some momentum and was compromised by the Democratic Party because they were saying it was Hillary's turn. Bernie
Sanders, I love him, but he's too far left, and he would have been a bigger disaster than Kamala was.
That's fine. But what I'm saying to you is, still in all, Bill, what I would, it's rare that I disagree with you. What I'm saying is, the only thing I will push back on is That's fine. But that's for the voter to decide.
Right.
And a lot of times the Democratic Party seems as if they've got their claws in the mix. Take Biden, for example. Okay, so, Clyburn helps him get through South Carolina. He ultimately goes to the Democratic nomination. He's the Democratic nominee for the president. He ultimately wins the election. There was supposed to be a red wave in 2022 in the midterms. The Republicans didn't pull that off. And Biden is feeling himself and saying, I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going to. I told y'all I was going to be a transitional president. I told y'all I was going to be a one-term dude. I'm just here as a stopgap to pave the way for the future of the Democratic Party. And then all of a sudden, he in office takes that power.
He was a veritable John the Baptist.
Bill Maher and Stephen A. Smith are unloading on the Democratic Party. And let's be honest, they're not wrong. They argue the Dems have tied themselves in knots with extreme ideologies and performative woke politics, alienating the very voters they need to win. Sure, the progressive messaging fires up young activists, but to the average American struggling with inflation, rising crime, and an immigration crisis, Democrats look completely out of touch. Smith points out that even when the party tries to be inclusive, it often comes across as condescending, and nothing drives moderates away faster than being talked down to like they're the problem. Maher takes it even further, blasting Democrats for having zero self-awareness. Instead of addressing real concerns, they double down on the same activist rhetoric that makes them sound more like a protest group than a governing party. The bottom line? Swing voters and even lifelong Democrats are starting to feel like the only ones making sense are, ironically, the Republicans. Unless Democrats close this massive disconnect fast, they're basically handing the next elections to the GOP on a silver platter.
There's no one that could compete with Donald Trump.
Well, not on a charisma level.
Fair. Okay, fair enough.
No,
but charisma is what gets you votes, bro.
Absolutely. And I've said it a million times, insanity photographs. Mm-hmm. It really does. I mean, it's charismatic. But I have so many things that I must contend here with.
Sure.
One, you're an ageist. There are people who are completely crackling right at 82. So it's always a case. It's always a case-by-case basis.
Right? Yeah. Nancy Pelosi don't have the problems that Biden have. I'm very supportive of in terms of Nancy Pelosi, in terms of how sharp she is. I'm not. I don't believe I'm an ageist.
Nancy Pelosi has lost a step in public, also, to be perfectly honest. But the job is never what you do in public. The job is done in the Oval Office.
Okay.
All you have to do is be. I never thought Biden couldn't do the job. The job is actually sitting in the Oval Office making decisions. He's not crazy. He hasn't lost his mind. He's not senile. He just can't do the public part. He never could do it well. And add the age thing, and you're going to get things like I killed Medicare or whatever the fuck he said. By the way, Trump, no one has been harder on Trump or more against Trump, blah, blah, blah. I don't have to establish my credentials. But he does do things once in a while that either make me genuinely laugh or make me genuinely go, oh, that's good. Yes. Like when he said in that debate, he had a moment where he went, I don't know what he said.
Exactly.
And I don't think
right there.
And I don't think he knows
what he said. I mean, we crack it up.
That's what people love about him.
Yes.
It's like he's crazy, but crazy people don't have the time to pretend.
Bill Maher isn't holding back. He's going straight for the jugular, arguing that woke culture has spun so far out of control it's actually driving moderates, and even some lifelong liberals, right into the conservative camp. That's right, the more the left doubles down on extreme progressive overreach, the more fuel it throws on Trump's fire. You couldn't script a better recruitment ad for MAGA if you tried. Maher and Stephen A. Smith also tear into cancel culture, calling it exactly what it is, a free speech killer. They point out how people are getting destroyed over a single bad tweet or an unpopular opinion, and how that kind of social blacklisting doesn't just ruin lives, it makes regular Americans too scared to even engage with progressive ideas at all. And here's the kicker, this isn't just some surface-level rant. Their conversation digs into how culture, politics, and personal ambition collide, and how Trump, whether you love him or hate him, is really a product of a left that refuses to face its own reflection. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going.